Okay, I didn't see this one coming at all. This is such a strange scenario.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
Isaiah Thomas linked to Spurs. I don't know. I don't know what to say to this. We're gonna go over this article and where they got this information from, and sure enough, which is insane, it's pretty credible. Now before we talk about this really quick, if you guys want to support the channel, clanthemerchfan.com, link in the description if you guys want to support. I really do appreciate all the love. I truly do. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about this. So Isaiah Thomas linked to Spurs. So we're going to read through this and then we're going to go to some of these links, which is always good, where these things led to. So veteran guard Isaiah Thomas has reportedly been linked to the San Antonio Spurs in recent weeks per Spurs Talk. And as you guys know, there's one person in particular that works for Spurs Talk that I absolutely love, and usually he's spot on. Thomas is a respected veteran who made a name for himself during his time in Boston with the Celtics. The Spurs are not looking to compete this year, but Thomas will provide veteran leadership for San Antonio's youthful roster. And as we go on, Isaiah Thomas made his NBA debut with the Sacramento Kings in 2011-2012. His breakout campaign came in 2013-2014 as Thomas averaged over 20 points per game, 6 assists per game, but it was the 2015-2016 with the Boston Celtics that he was selected to his first NBA All-Star team while averaging 22 points. Isaiah Thomas then averaged just shy of 29 points and 6 assists per contest during the 2016-2017 season with the Celtics. He was absolutely incredible. Not only that, I think this was the same season in which his sister passed away and he still played the next playoff game. Absolutely insane. He produced steady production following the magical campaign, but Thomas never produced at the same elite level. His last taste of NBA action came last year in various stints between the Lakers, Mavericks, and Hornets. And I think that's mostly due to defense. He's just too small. I know he said he doesn't have bad defense, but he's pretty small. Some reports stated that Isaiah Thomas could join Dwight Howard in Taiwan, but however, those reporters were recently shut down, so we're not gonna worry about that. It is apparent that Thomas still has a desire to play in the NBA. He previously sent a strong message to the teams amid his combat bid. Now, if you want to know what he had to say, this is what he had to say. He said, "They compare me to my 30 points per game, so when I get 12 in a reserve role, it's he lost this step. I can help a team whether I play or not, and that's not being heard enough." Wow, I really like this sentiment here. Moving on, give me a real bench role where I play in both halves. I'll give you 14 and 4 in 18 minutes easy. I'll make an impact. I actually do believe that as far as scoring wise. All right, so you're wondering where this came from. Well, this actually came from, funny enough, LJ Ellis. And you guys know I absolutely love LJ Ellis, and most of the time he's spot on. He genuinely, he's not one of those reports that just say, I got some sources and they're not legit. He has legit sources, because a lot of times he is absolutely correct with some of the things that he has to say. But this is what he had to say about Isaiah Thomas, or at least what he's heard. "The most famous name I've heard linked to the Spurs in recent weeks is Isaiah Thomas." Let's just scroll down a little bit. 33 years old. Why would the Spurs sign Thomas? An insider tells me that the Spurs may bring in a veteran like Thomas if the coaching staff feels like the scoring burden on Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell becomes too overwhelming. Johnson and Vassell are both averaging more than 20 points per game, but inefficiency has become the issue recently, particularly with regard to Johnson. Thomas, in theory, can help lighten the load. I don't care at all about anyone lighting the load, okay? I do not care about that. Maybe you can make an argument for Vassell because he definitely dealt with, some injuries this season already. And you can say, well, it's just too much on his body or whatnot. I completely agree with that. But as far as lighting the load to try to win games or something, I'm not with that. But at the same time, I don't necessarily think it should be all on these two. And the addition of Isaiah Thomas isn't going to make us that much better. But what I do love about this is he is a player that could come in and be a really good veteran for this team. And also he is in a position in which he can teach quite a bit to someone like Devin Vassell. I mean, Isaiah Thomas was a scoring machine, and Devin Vassell, in theory, that's what we want him to be in the future. So him coming to the team, I think that's perfectly fine, especially since I just keep saying this, but I believe the Spurs are going to move some players pretty soon. I don't want to say quickly, but pretty soon, maybe the next month or so. That's just my take. You having a veteran is still good. Having Isaiah Thomas would be absolutely great. Not only that, I would get an Isaiah Thomas jersey because I like Isaiah Thomas. But yeah, I just want to know what you guys think about it. I think this would be a pretty decent move. At this point, obviously, it's not something that's a long-term option. It's not something where we're like, we're bringing him for some wins, for some W's. It's nothing like that. It would just be a guy to kind of fill that role because there's so much strain. And that's another thing, too. There's a lot of strain on Devin Vassell in particularly because the San Antonio Spurs are putting him in a position at times where he has to run point guard. I mean, at this point, our best point guard is probably, obviously, Trey Jones, right? But apart from Trey Jones, it's probably Jeremy Sohan, right? Blake Wesley would be gone at least until the mid-December. So yeah, the closest thing we have is literally a power forward. So, you know, bringing in Isaiah Thomas to kind of lighten that load so Devin Vassell can develop in his natural position more often than trying to create for other guys could be pretty helpful. Now, I haven't seen that a ton over the past, week or so. That was more so earlier in the season, and maybe I missed it. But just in theory, I've seen at least a few times Devin Vassell had to kind of facilitate, and I think that should not be his role at this point. And there's so much strain on Trey Jones, which is just ridiculous, and Sohan being out. So yeah, anyways, Isaiah Thomas coming to the San Antonio Spurs, I think that would be a nice move. But let me know what you think. That's my take on it. If you guys want to support the channel, as always, clanthemerchfan.com or become a this is so fire. I'm not gonna lie, I love Attack on Titan. Or become a Patreon YouTube member, only $2 per month. Thanks for all the love, guys. Until next time, bye.